G'day guys, I'm Jotrain and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic, where I'll be showcasing some more of my vanilla piston powered steam locomotives, being the Queensland Rail DD17 class and the Queensland Rail A10 class, being the oldest operational steam locomotive in Australia. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so here we are in the world, and I suppose we'll showcase the A10 class first. So this locomotive is A10 Class number 6. So the Queensland Railway's A10 Nelson class was a class of 042 steam locomotives, as they have 4 leading wheel or driving wheels, and then you have the 2 rear wheels to support the weight of the cab. 13 locomotives were built in total of this class. 8 were built in 1865 and then 1866 by Nelson Company, Glasgow in Scotland, for the Southern and Western Railways operating out of Ipswich. And then another 4 were built in the Central Railway operating out of Rockhampton. And then this particular number 6 was restored by volunteers of the Australian Railway Historical Society, or the ARHS, in 1991. And now it holds up the claim as Australia's oldest operational steam locomotive. It's also nicknamed the Ruby because it has a crimson livery on it. So all these trains all have like their own nicknames, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then we have, so this uses a Walschaerts valve gear to move. So you can see underneath here, it's not particularly easy to see how this works because it's very compact design. So we have those rotate the bearings, which move the rod inside these sensors. They detect whether it's in place or not. So it's a similar design to like these systems, but it's like all internal, and it works very well as well. And I used the design based off the this steam shunter here. So I actually got help from a friend on X's train Discord server. His name is Redstoneista, who's Italian, and he let me use his design that he did for his steam train. So it's a very similar design there, and it works very well as well. Because originally I have another design here, and this one, as if you look underneath, let's actually put this on the track first, and then if you look on the undercarriage, there's no like internal stuff going on there, because all it does is like this sensor, it detects the rod when it goes up and down, and this one works. Like if we press 1 here, I think it might be the low physics quality that's causing it. Here we go. So it seems to work now, although the problem with this design is that it's not very strong, and it doesn't like drive very smoothly either. And I had to use that suspension there so that the collision doesn't collide with that as well, because I only can weld this on I had to do the piston right next to the wheel as well, so that doesn't really work very well. I'm glad that Redstoneista, he let me use this design, which works a lot better. And then let's actually go back in the cab so we can see the other controls in here. So obviously 1 is to go forwards, and then 2 would be to go in reverse. So that changes the direction. And then 3, there's thrusters inside the tender here. And that's like give like an extra speed boost. So like if you're hauling stuff. And then obviously we got number 5 here, which is the whistle. And let's just go reverse so we're not over the railway crossing there. And then we have the whistle as well, which is just a bunch of tote bots in there to emulate the train whistle sound, even though it's probably not really accurate to how it sounds like in real life. But I designed the whistles so that the whistles for the smaller trains are like higher pitch, and then for the larger trains are lower pitch. Kind of makes sense, I guess. It's not really how trains in real life work, but I just thought it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so here is the next train I built. So this is the DD17 Class steam locomotive, which is nicknamed the Blue Baby because of its blue color scheme. And this is a class of 464T steam locomotives, and the T is for tank because it doesn't have a tender, so they're tank engines. And it's a steam locomotive operated by Queensland Railways, and it was built in the North Ipswich Railway workshops between 1948 and 1952. And they were designated the DD class. If you watch the other video I did on my steam locomotive, the Queensland Rail uses classification based on the cylinder sizes, how much driving wheels, and then the cylinder sizes in inches, or the diameter in inches. so DD is the wheel configuration. And so there was a total of 12 of these which were built. The first tank engines, they were originally painted black with red lining, and the next 5 were painted blue, like this one, also with the red lining, and then the last 6 were painted like a midway blue, so it's like a more darker blue color. And yeah, and the Blue Baby, which is number 1051, it was placed in the Red Bank Locomotive Museum as a static exhibit in 1970, and in 1992 the museum closed, and number 1051 was taken to the Ipswich Railway Workshops, where it was restored to working order, and it now continues to be used by Kiwa on heritage excursion trains around Brisbane. And yeah, if you may notice, like the smoke effects that sometimes happen, like that, how I managed to do that. So there's a piston underneath. You can't really see it very well, but there's a piston underneath. Because to make, you usually have to use mods to make. And let's just stop this real quick. So yeah, you usually have to use mods to make steam effects, and what it is. So in the steam stack here, there's this piston on a block. And then if we activate, let's actually just delete that. And then we have this, and it basically just rapid fires into the let's like open this up like that. There you go. And so we have the piston, it's just hitting into that block, which is causing the steam effects. So that's how you can make steam effects in vanilla. Because they had to use a modded part, but now I try to make all my builds vanilla so that they don't use as many mods anymore. So anyways, let's head back to the starting area here, and we can test it hauling some wagons as well. And let's actually get A10 back as well. So, and one of the surprising things with despite this locomotive, despite it being very small, if we verse it with this one, you'll be surprised at how powerful it is. So let's get this one, DD17 running, the Blue Baby, and then we'll go and hop into Ruby here, and then so it's like a tug of war kind of thing, and you can see it's managing to verse the DD17, but that despite it being only a very small locomotive with only 2 driving wheels. And let's actually, I think a better demonstration would be if we connect it to these carriages here. So we have these passenger carriages, which I made for the Christmas contest a while ago, and to weld these, to connect these, you just have to weld it on like that. Because I used to use a pin system, although with the system like that, they often become dislodged if you're going around, if you're driving quickly and on low physics qualities. So I decided to make it so that you just weld the carriages on like this. So let's just weld that one on like that. Yeah. So let's actually let's get BBs. Let's actually delete the Garratt over here, which I've been working on, because it's saving some frames. This will probably be quite a laggy locomotive. Alright, so let's open this, start this one up, start this running. Okay, I think maybe... Oh, here we go, this one's moving. I say this is quite a powerful locomotive, but apparently it's not hauling these carriages. Now let me actually, let me do these, the second class ones here. And let's just have this going in the other direction. Bless me. Okay, this seems to be glitching out, so let's get this one moving. Alright, so let's start the Blue Baby, and then we'll go back into Ruby here. So here we go. See, I don't know what's up with these carriages. Seem to be a lot lighter than the other ones, but yeah, look, it's moving it, and it's completely piston powered, and it's only those 2 pistons are the only thing that's moving, propelling it, and it's managing to pull this enormous train here with 2 carriages on it. So yeah, this is actually quite a powerful little locomotive, little engine here. And then we'll get okay, for some reason Blue Baby doesn't seem to want to go. Here we go. Just need to give it some thruster assist. See, I also should mention that this train also does share a striking resemblance with Thomas the Tank Engine, because it's probably because of like its blue color scheme, and it's also like a tank engine. This is basically just the Australian version of Thomas the Tank Engine that's been on steroids. It's not Thomas the Tank Engine, it's Trevor the Tank Engine. So you have because Thomas is an 060 T class and this is a 464, so it has the 4 leading wheels on the pony truck, and then the 6 driving wheels that actually propel the locomotive, and then you have these rear wheels which just hold the weight of the bunker at the back there. Yeah, so it's really nice looking at these locomotives, like all the mechanisms, because that's like the one thing that I think that's what makes like steam locomotives so interesting to many people, is that all the mechanisms are actually visible on the outside. Or it's like the only machine where you can actually see all the inner workings of it like that, which makes it like really interesting to look at. And let's actually go back and see here. So we have 3 is we can boost it up, and you see the thruster effects at the back there, which is really good. I didn't really have anywhere else to put the thrusters, because it's all like glitch modded in here. So I had to put them at the back, even though they kind of like shoots off the outside. So we have 4 to turn lights on there. We also have the whistle. And then 6 is also if we stop the locomotive. So all 6 it's just to demonstrate the smoke. Hang on, smoke effects. And let me just put this on. Take this off the lift. Okay, for some reason the smoke effects don't seem to be working on this one. And it does take a bit to start though. So there we go. I think it takes a bit to start, but once it gets moving, it gets moving. Like there you go. There's some smoke effects there. Let's actually to the corner here. One of the things to note about this locomotive as well is that I put the pegs on, because these wheels, they turn, and I put the pegs on the bogies on the front and back as well. So but the one downside is that when you're going around these really tight corners, see the wheels are just slipping around. They don't actually like grip onto the rails there. So I put the thruster assist to help you get around these like really tight corners as well. So I could try putting pegs, but the thing is that these mechanisms get in the way, so I can't really put a peg there, or else it's gonna get in the way with that. So I don't know. Yeah, as long as you have the thruster assist, you can still make it around these corners here. And let's just head back to the starting area. See, I don't know, that might be something I could fix. Just put pegs on the driving wheels so that it grips around the corners. Explosives on the line. Just get rid of that. Yeah, this locomotive. I mean, it does pull them, but it's very slow. It does seem to be very slow though, this one. And I'll also do a sneak peek on another locomotive I've been working on, which is the Beyer Garratt, Beyer Garratt class. And I do plan to make a video dedicated on this, just this itself, because been recording a time lapse on it. I'm still obviously working on it. Yeah, I think this is probably like my best running locomotives, even though we're getting pretty fast there. So even without the thrust resist, you go quite fast on this one. And the thing with this locomotive is it basically acts as like 2 locomotives in one. So you have like the drive wheels you have 8 drive wheels on the front and the back. So as opposed to having 2 double-headed train, you can just have this one locomotive serve the same purpose. And it works quite well around these really tight corners as well, because it's articulated. So if you go around here, and then you can see it's articulating around the corner here. Quite cool. And it seems to be quite fast as well going around here. Unlike the Blue Baby with the DD17 one. Yeah, it's really cool, this one. I do want to put, I'm not entirely finished with it, there's still like some other details I want to include on it, but it's pretty much almost complete, this train. And then let's just go full speed around here. And I'm gonna crash in the back of the other train. Yay. That's actually, well, considering how similar this locomotive is to Thomas the Tank Engine, let's actually put the Thomas the Tank Engine face in it, see how that looks. Yeah. And let's, just delete all this. Delete all that off it. So yeah, this is what the smoke box of the locomotive looks like. And then just slap his face on it. There you go. It's like the day out with Thomas, where they don't have the face doesn't match exactly with the boiler, so you just have that. Like, looks like that. Like it looks similar, right? But they don't have the exact same class as Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, that's what it looks like there. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this one design came out as well. That's like the one nitpick I have with the train, is like when you're going around those really tight corners, it often gets stuck. So for example, this corner here. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Although it is managing to get around this one. That was a showcase of my DD17, the Blue Baby class locomotive, and the A10 number 6 class locomotive. So I'll put a link in the description to if you want to subscribe to these on the workshop. If you have Scrap Mechanic, want to try these out for yourself. And yeah, if you enjoy, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And as always, be sure to join the journey with Jotrain.